It all begins with Michael Mason, a former government assassin living in total isolation on a remote Scottish island. Some time ago, Michael severed ties with his agency and has been on the run ever since. He is a lonely man who spends his days playing chess and drinking himself numb, his only company being a dog he hasn't even bothered to name. Hours later, a boat approaches the island. On board is a young woman named Jessie, sent to deliver a supply order to Michael. Upon reaching the shore, she knocks on the door and leaves the package at the entrance. But at that precise moment, the sky darkens and a violent storm breaks out. The boat's captain, Jessie's uncle, calls out frantically for her to return. She runs toward the vessel and manages to climb aboard, but the ship is violently capsized by the crashing waves. Realizing how dangerous the storm has become, Michael rushes to help. He launches his own boat and battles the wind and the raging sea. When he reaches the wreckage, he is horrified to find Jessie unconscious, trapped underwater. Her uncle has already perished. Michael pulls Jessie from the sea and carries her back to shore. He desperately performs CPR until she finally coughs up water and begins to breathe again. Back at the cabin, a terrified Jessie wakes up and demands to know why he didn't call the police. Michael coldly avoids the question, examining the swelling in her ankle instead. Jessie feels like a prisoner, remembering how her uncle warned her that the lighthouse was abandoned. Michael dryly tells her she must leave once she recovers, revealing that he knows her painful past. Her mother is gone, and she has no one left. As the days pass, the tension between them grows, and Jessie's wound shows signs of infection. Michael eventually reveals that he served as a Marine alongside her uncle. While treating her injury, he offers her some grim advice. Never use a weapon out of fear. Stay calm and control your emotions if you want to survive. The next day, Jessie finds Michael deeply focused on his chessboard. He notices that her wound is not healing properly and decides to leave the island to buy medical supplies. While he is gone, Jessie explores the house and discovers old drawings and toys from Michael's past. It is then that she decides the dog deserves a name and begins calling him Jack. Meanwhile, in London, a man named Stephen is being questioned about THEA, an artificial intelligence system that uses surveillance cameras to track persons of interest. Authorities decide the AI must be shut down immediately. Stephen later meets with the Prime Minister to discuss continuing operations clandestinely. At the same time, technicians analyzing intelligence data discover Michael Mason's location. Records link him to a past government bombing incident. ME6 sends agents to investigate and eliminate him. Michael returns home and treats Jessie's wound with the medicine he bought. They eat together with some level of comfort, but Michael's instinct tells him something is wrong. He looks through the window with binoculars and sees a boat full of armed men speeding toward the island. He immediately orders Jessie to hide in the bathroom, lock the door, and remain silent until he comes for her. The team of mercenaries approaches cautiously, unaware that Michael has rigged the island with deadly traps. With a swift move, he cuts a rope, triggering a massive boulder that falls and traps several men in a net. Gunfire erupts. As the mercenaries try to attack, Michael moves like a ghost, taking them out one by one. One soldier manages to enter the cabin. The dog attacks him and is shot several times. After killing the dog, the man grabs Jessie and flees. Michael kills another enemy outside and then hears Jessie scream. He shoots her captor and rescues her, telling her to hide while he checks the house. Inside, he finds his dog dead. He strokes him silently one last time, grief etched on his face. In that moment, Michael decides it is time for revenge. He takes Jessie, and together they escape the island by boat. Back at MI6 headquarters, command is stunned. Their alpha team has been completely wiped out. They wonder who this man really is. He doesn't fit the terrorist profile they were looking for. Digging deeper, they discovered that the CIA database was altered to hide his true identity. Michael Mason is not a terrorist. He is a former elite operative who was believed dead for 10 years after refusing a mission to assassinate a nuclear scientist. Michael and Jessie arrive in a small town, both wounded and on edge. Michael hands a gun to Jessie and gives her a firm order. If anyone approaches, she must shoot without hesitation. Michael enters a nearby house looking for medical supplies, but a man suddenly appears and points a gun at him. What the man doesn't realize is that Jessie is right behind him, calm and steady, aiming at his head to protect Michael. The man helps Michael treat his bullet wound, but the truce doesn't last long. The police soon surround the house after the owner's son tips them off. The man goes outside, attempting to distract the officers, but chaos breaks out. He is shot directly in the forehead and dies instantly. Several officers storm the house, but Michael defeats them with ease. He and Jessie escape through the back, stealing a patrol car and initiating a high-speed chase. An assassin named James pursues them relentlessly, shooting to kill, until Michael executes a flawless maneuver and rams James's car. James survives the crash, steals another vehicle, and continues the pursuit. Back at MI6, the truth finally comes to light. Roberta Frost speaks with veteran agent Stephen Manafort, who reveals the existence of a secret program called Black Kites, elite operatives who worked completely outside the law. Michael was the best of them. Michael and Jessie's uncle had served together as Marines. Michael was ordered to kill a nuclear scientist, but his conscience prevented him. He spared the man's life and disappeared. That's why the agency wants him dead now. Michael is a loose end who knows too much. As they speed down the road, Jessie finally asks Michael the question she has been holding back. She wants to know who he really is. Michael, in a rare moment of honesty, admits he wasn't always a broken man hiding on an island, but that his past complicates everything. Jessie tells him she'd rather live with complications than be completely alone, reminding him that she also lost her family. As they continue driving, a traffic camera catches their car. Elsewhere, Stephen intercepts the footage and deletes it, removing them entirely from the THEA's system. He manipulates the network to hide their trail, choosing to hunt them on his own. Michael and Jessie arrive at a church to meet one of Michael's old contacts. The man takes them to his home, where they discuss what is happening. He explains how MI6 found Michael. Someone altered the THEA's system, placing an execution order on the contact under the identity of the terrorist Tchermoev. Jessie overhears the conversation and learns two painful truths. The man is dying of cancer, and Michael planned to leave her there to keep her safe. Heartbroken, she confronts them, saying she already knows she's a burden, and walks away. The friend admits he can't look after her, as he doesn't have much time left. Their only option is to contact a smuggler who can get Jessie out of the country. Suddenly, the silence is broken. Michael hears footsteps. The assassin James has arrived. Michael orders Jessie into a corner, just as bullets tear through the room. A brutal gunfight breaks out. When James is about to finish Michael, Jessie intervenes with a gun, distracting the attacker long enough for Michael to break free. They run to the friend's car and escape at high speed while bullets pierce the bodywork. They head to a London nightclub to meet a contact who can provide Jessie with a new identity. Michael proposes a deal, a clean identity and safe passage for Jessie, in exchange for him cutting off the head of the snake, Stephen, and burying all the secrets. The contact agrees, handing over an envelope containing a passport, ID, and $20,000. As they try to leave the club, Stephen's tactical team attacks. Michael eliminates them one by one. But in the chaos, Jessie is dragged into a van. Michael loses control, fighting his way through anyone in his path until he rescues her. They escape on a motorcycle, racing toward the docks. On the boat that will take Jessie out of the country, she clings to Michael, crying. She doesn't want to leave. She wants to stay with him. Suddenly, gunfire rings out again. To save her, Michael pushes her toward the boat and tells her this is the only way he can keep her safe. The boat pulls away as Jessie screams his name, leaving Michael alone on the pier to face James. Both men run out of ammunition, and the fight becomes brutal and personal, hand to hand, fueled by desperation. After a savage struggle, Michael finally kills James. Later, Michael arrives at Stephen Manafort's house. The man who betrayed him erased the recordings and hunted him. The two face off. Stephen tries to persuade Michael to return, insisting they are the same and that Michael should reclaim the life he once wanted. Michael refuses. He says he chose his humanity over blind obedience. Without hesitation, Michael shoots Stephen, delivering justice for everyone who died. The final scene takes us to Ronda, Spain. Jessie is sitting alone, reading a book, apparently safe. MI6 analysts monitor surveillance feeds and notice that Michael managed to hide her well. Jessie receives an envelope. Inside is a chess queen, the same piece from Michael's board. She turns around, scanning the crowd, hoping to see him. From the shadows, Michael watches just long enough to ensure she is safe. Then he disappears before she can spot him. He becomes a ghost once more, but this time, Jessie knows she is not alone.